Well, since we weren't on last week, maybe everybody figures, I'm not going to. Hello, Obble Cakes, a.k.a. Nicole. Hello, Abe. Rosa. Hello, Kara. Hello, beautiful people. Hannah Herb. Hello, Christy Kincaid Norris, Rebecca, Anna, Yennefer. Hello, Safe. Brenda Grogan got her ticket in hand. Ticket in hand. Hello, Sin Galvan. Working out like a fiend. Sheila Redmond. Oh, really? Tornado warning in the hub city, huh? Hey, you got to take that serious out there for sure. Stronger than wiser. Hello, Christy. Hello, Chelsea. Deanna. Chris. Hello, Julie's Overalls. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Tanya. Hello, Kim Wright. Everybody filing in, very quietly taking their seats in the auditorium. Hello, Terry Mabe. Hello, Hector Wasabi. Hello, Terry. Good evening, Kitten Tracks. Yes. Thank you, Safe. Work in progress. I'm going back in June to keep plugging. We're going to finish this thing up.
Okay, I'm ready. Got my last minute stuff done.
Are you?
I am.
Are you ready?
I am.
We'll say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. We were sent an email today about having a template for our show. Did you see that email?
No.
There's a new podcast in our podcast family that just started, and they actually write out a schedule. And I was like, oh man, that's a really good idea.
Is it?
Well, how many times do we say we're going to talk about something and then we never do? I should actually talk about this on the podcast. I should.
Yeah. Why don't you?
I can.
No?
I can. We should need to get going.
We do?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Well, I'm just doing pre-show research,
Why are you doing pre-show research now?
It's what I do. Hello, Coco Dynamite. Oh. Hello, Bruno. Did I say hello, Bruno? Hello, Sarah. Doing just fine. Never been better. So I hear there was, we'll get into this.
You better make notes of what you're going to get into.
I have heard scuttlebutt.
I don't know what you're going to say.
No. You think I just fell off the last turnip truck?
You've slipped.
Don't answer that.
You've slipped up a couple times.
Hello, Evangelina.
Don't betray somebody. I don't know what you're going to talk about.
One of the prettiest names on the podcast, Evangelina. Although everyone has a pretty name, in my opinion.
Well, that's not true. There are some not pretty names out there.
Well, on our list
not
of people?
Not our list of people.
Why are you jipping the listener?
Why is that jipping the listener?
Hello, Becky.
I'm not saying our listeners don't have pretty names, but there are some not attractive names out there.
Examples?
I know, because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Walter?
That's your name, honey.
Okay.
I wouldn't have chosen to name my baby Walter, but I'm not mad at your
parents. Have you ever seen a little baby named Walter?
No, but that's kind of like to call a kid Walt, a baby Walt. It's kind of like a bit now.
Well, you call him Wally.
I call him Walt or Wally.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hello, Angie Reno.
Hello, Angie. When's your podcast starting, Angie?
Yeah.
Or has it already started and we missed it? Alan will read it and let me know what you say because I can't see it.
Over by Preston. You saw Kellie at Eatsy's?
When?
We haven't been to Eatsy's in forever. You're one of our neighbors, huh? Coco Dynamite.
Oh, it's been a while then.
Next time you see us, say, hey, what's up? I'm Coco Dynamite.
Gosh, the last time I've been to Eatsy's
it's been a while.
Was before my birthday in April. Because I haven't been to Eatsy's since, gosh.
You know what's even creepier, Coco? is when you're somewhere and then somebody doesn't say anything to you, but they tweet you.
That's not creepy.
And they say, hey, I'm in the same food court as you are.
That's
I'm
not
like,
creepy.
No,
what usually happens is people will DM us or tweet us and say, we saw you at Eatsy's and I didn't say hello. I wish I had said hello now. Something like that. But it's not creepy.
It's not creepy. I encourage engagement.
Yeah. You ready now? Did Angie answer about her podcast? I can't see.
She says she's gearing up.
Girl, at some point you got to pull the trigger. You just got to pull the trigger.
Thank you, Coco. Appreciate you.
What did she say?
She said I'm her favorite.
Oh, did she?
She did.
That's sweet. I trust you, but I can't see it.
Every once in a while, you got to throw me a Scooby snack.
I don't think I'm everybody's favorite.
Oh, I know I'm not.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Promo code Kellie.
Yeah. Yeah.
But hit the record button.
Promo code. Who's one of my new followers? We might need to get into that.
I wouldn't.
Why?
Because it just you look like a jerk. Don't do that.
Damn. Are you sure?
Alan.
All right. Oh, I can do my sound check.
Test 1, 2. Test.
You just go to the well when you're not prepared. Wilma Fingerdew, please pick up the red courtesy phone.
That's a pretty
Wilma,
recently used one.
Wilma Fingerdew, please pick up the red courtesy phone. Wilma Fingerdew.
Welcome to another episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. Thank you for being a part of our podcast family. Even if this is the first podcast you've ever listened to of ours, you're officially part of the family. And I'm your mama. I'm Kellie Rasberry Evans. And here's your daddy, Alan Evans.
Hey, train in the house.
Wouldn't you consider us the mama and daddy of all these precious little family members?
Mama.
No, that's disgusting. Don't do that.
Mama.
I hate when you do that.
When I do what?
Ugh.
Why?
Because it's just gross.
It's an infant suckling.
I know. I don't like it when you do it. It's gross.
It's
anyway,
an infant suckling from the teat.
Mm-hmm. And I never breastfed, so there's that. All right. So welcome, everybody. Are you sure you want to be part of this family still? Alan and I are going to have a podcast for you tonight. We think we have a loose idea of what we're going to talk about. Here's the thing. Alan and I started doing A Sandwich and Some Lovin' almost
4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think over the course of 4 years almost of podcasting, we have written down a schedule less than 5 times.
I mean, I can count that. I can count them on one hand.
Maybe.
One hand.
We're not really good about that. And here's the thing. Sometimes we'll say we're going to talk about stuff because we haven't written it down. The podcast will end and we never talked about that thing. And I know it's frustrating for you, our podcast family sometimes.
Have we been frustrating the listener?
I know we do on it. As much as you frustrate me personally, it's got to translate to our audience.
That's not a warm fuzzy. You're supposed to give me warm fuzzies.
You're my hero.
Not cold pricklies.
So anyway, we're part of a podcast family, and it's like a collection of podcasts, right? And so we've got this new podcast, and this Join the Family. And today we got an email basically saying, look what the new kid is doing, and y'all all need to follow what the new kid is doing, which is great because we should probably do a schedule. But she basically sent out to all of the podcasts, because apparently we're not the only ones that don't follow any type of schedule. And it had intro, opening topic, sponsor, second topic. It was like this whole little thing. And I'm like, oh, we should be that organized.
I would like to rebut these points you're trying to make. I would say that podcasting.
I didn't make a lot of points, just one.
You didn't make any good points. You made
I
a
just
few
said
points,
we should maybe be more scheduled. That way we would actually talk about the things we promised.
But I thought podcasting was supposed to be spontaneous.
No, that's not true.
I thought it was supposed to be authentic.
That's
I thought
true.
It was supposed to be organic.
Not always. No.
So we want to get on
Not
here.
Always.
We want to get on here and do a PowerPoint.
Well, you need not a PowerPoint necessarily, but you need to have a point sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't.
I don't think we've had a damn point in 350 podcasts.
We've done a point or two at some point.
What's the point of this?
I'm just saying, maybe we should put some thought into following some sort of show template.
Why don't you get our producer on that? Oh, wait a
Is that
second.
you?
Oh, wait a minute. We don't have
No,
one.
we do. We have somebody that edits. We've been having a lot of, I don't know if anybody's listening and if it gets edited out. We've been having a lot of issues with our audio. And so we have somebody has to come in and kind of edit out these little staticky sounds. I don't know what's going on. We've tried changing all the equipment, but
whenever you decide to make a change, a lot of companies, organizations do this. You know what they never do? They never ask the customer what they think. They just say, well, y'all need to do this. Well, why do we need to do this? Well, it's just coming from the top down.
What's wrong with having a schedule?
It's just coming from the top down. You just need to do this. I would like to submit to you some feedback from our customers. Our customers say,
from our live audience
Yes.
that watches us record our A Sandwich and Some Loving podcast. Lovin, what am I adding a G for? A Sandwich and Some Loving podcast on YouTube.
some of our very best customers say, y'all do awesome without a written agenda. Nah, the best podcasts are off the cuff. Agreed. I don't like watching the really organized or listening to the really organized stuff. We need wheels off.
Is there anybody that wants structure and order?
Structured chaos is y'all's lane. I like the randomness of this podcast. Another agrees with that comment.
Well, how about the frustration when we tease something and we never get to it?
One of our very best customers says, yes, we have noticed. I've escalated it to the manager of the Mickey Mouse operation.
Okay.
Well, that'd be an insult to Mickey Mouse.
Well, maybe we'll revisit this idea of having an actual schedule another time, but not tonight, because I just sprung that on you at the last minute.
That's okay. That's okay.
But you, like, before we started the podcast, we sometimes talk to the members. Well, Alan does, because I can't read. I can't see. But Alan gets on there with our little podcast family that gathers on Monday and Wednesday nights, typically at 8 p.m. Central Time. Although I thought we were going to start doing 7 p.m. Central Time. It's my fault.
You were in there watching TV.
I know. My daughter wants to watch Gilmore Girls with me, and I'm not going to deny
What was
her
I
that.
doing? I was sitting in the backyard just kind of staring at the pool.
No, you weren't. You were on social media.
I was not. I was
actually.
actually stuffing my face.
That's good. Anyway, you can always be part of the family. It's a growing little community. If you go to YouTube and just search A Sandwich and Some Lovin', and if you follow us you can press a little button to get notifications, right? It'll tell you when we're going live.
Yeah, in YouTube you can. I think there's a bell or something you click or touch,
and it just pops up on your phone or wherever to let you know we're going.
It'll tell you when we're going live.
And it's really been fun watching real relationships and friendships join out of or form out of that little chat room.
Had a lot of people that's happened to.
I know, it's been great. I'm waiting for our first romance and love affair and maybe, who knows, marriage down the line. That'll be fun.
Well, that would be very cool. Okay, but here's the deal. We do this podcast in an audio format, and it's for you to download and listen to. Hopefully, if you love it, subscribe.
Even if you watch it on YouTube, please still listen to it.
Listen. But as Kelly mentioned, we also do a YouTube broadcast where it's just a recording of us recording the podcast. Some people like to get in the chat room and talk to each other. They like to see us record it. It's just two talking heads, basically.
Yeah.
But
we don't ever do anything. We should do something special.
We have a pretty decent rhythm schedule. We try to do this at 8 p.m.-ish. Central Time. But sometimes we don't do it. Sometimes things come up and we just don't do it. We have to record earlier. We have to record later. Kelly hit me with a frying pan and I can't come in here and do the podcast. Something happened.
I have to wait for you to heal.
So
I should learn to hit you where people can't see it.
Right. So we didn't record on YouTube last week, and I heard some rumblings through the grapevine because I have informants all over Dallas-Fort Worth, peppered.
Well, our listeners are outside of the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
I have them in Fruitcake, New Zealand.
Really?
Good eye, mate.
Informants.
And
what are they informing you
of? The informants told me they thought there might be a little, how shall I say, Kelly and Alan dysfunction.
Oh, really?
Yes.
They think our marriage is in trouble?
That was a theory thrown out.
Yeah.
Would you like to confirm or deny
that we were having a fight, which is why we were not having a fight that time. Now, am I going to sit here and lie and say we have never had a fight that caused us not to record the podcast on YouTube? I will not lie. We have.
It's happened a few times.
It's happened. But it's not always the case. Sometimes we just really have a scheduling conflict, or just we can't, or we're not at a place where we can, get a YouTube connection or something, and all we have is our recorder. So that happens from time to time. But yeah, we've had some blowout fights.
Blowout fights.
When it's so bad we can't record the podcast on YouTube. Well, that's pretty bad.
When you wave your pimp hand at me, sometimes I crawl into the corner and shiver and shudder.
But honestly, I don't think we fight a lot. I mean, maybe we kind of
want to fight more.
No, we kind of pick it. Some people think we fight on the podcast, but what we interpret as fighting is not what other people interpret as fighting. You know what I mean? It's like we're just.
You be nice.
Yeah.
You be nicer to her.
Sometimes you could be nicer to me.
I've been listening to her since 13, 16.
See, it's like that shit. Look, I even cussed, and I don't cuss a lot.
I mean, good Lord. Been listening to her since she was on the Eagle with Kid.
I wasn't on the Eagle with Kid.
Well, she was. Now she married you.
Exactly.
I get that a lot.
But we're not fighting now. And we weren't fighting last podcast that we didn't record on YouTube. But more often than not, we're going to try to be here for our YouTube, because like we were saying today, Alan and I felt bad about that. It's like, well, if we don't show up to record on YouTube, what happens to all those people that like to get together and chat? Where can they go? I don't know. Anyway,
I'm sure they can. There's places to go.
There's other places to go. Yeah. I just don't know.
Yeah.
And but if they're counting on us to be here and there's no warning and we're just not there, then their minds start to wonder, oh my, you know how it is when your kid doesn't show up when they're supposed to.
I understand.
And before they walk through the door, you're convinced they've been in a horrible accident, and then they walk in the door and you want to strangle them because they should have called.
No, I'm not mocking the listener at all.
They're concerned.
Yeah, I'm joking. And I even said that today. I said, when you get in, that's what you just said. When you get into a rhythm and then all of a sudden it's not there, you're like, well, wait a minute.
What happened? Something's wrong.
Yeah, right.
It's not always something wrong. Sometimes stuff just comes up,
Yeah. All right, babe. Well, I'm glad we cleared that up. Why don't you do a little of that, and then I'll do a little bit of whatever
that thing you thought we were maybe going to talk about.
Whatever we're going to talk about.
Whatever. I mean, I've got some stuff. I think you've got some stuff.
Well, we've got we've got good stuff.
Look, self-care and routine. Those are very important things. You can't just, we all just let it go. Remember the beginning of 2020 when we all were just drinking wine nonstop and eating whatever we could stuff in our faces and got just all loose with the schedule. It wrecked us. So it's really important to take care of yourself, to have a routine, maybe even have a podcast schedule. We'll get into that later. But whatever you're using to get ready for the day should make you feel amazing. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like to shave my legs every day.
Whoa.
But when I do, I want it to be so close that it lasts. And that's where Billy comes in. Billy's the best razor out there for those days when you want an extra smooth shave, no pink tax, no visit to the drugstore, no break in the bank. You can go to mybilly with an IE.com to get their starter kit. It's just $9. Affordable, super affordable. And that includes their award-winning, try saying that 10 times fast. Award-winning, now say award-winning razor. Right. The 2 refill blades and the cult favorite magnetic holder. Like I said, I don't like to shave my legs every day, but I did shave them, I think, I'm not 100% sure, either Friday or Saturday. But I had to go somewhere really important today, and I had to wear a dress. And I don't like wearing pantyhose because those are like way 1980s. But I just ran my hand over my leg. I'm like, hey, I'm still good to go. It's been days since I shaved. So thank you, Billy. And it's time for you to meet the razor that made everyone start talking about razors. They're an Allure Best of Beauty winner and on Nylon's beauty hit list for a reason.
And to express a little love for our show, go to mybilly.com/lovin. It's a small way you can support us while getting the best razor you will ever own. It's just $9 to get your starter kit plus free shipping always. Just go to mybillie.com/lovin. That's spelled MyBillie.com/lovin.
Thank you, Billy. You want to rub on my leg?
We love Billy.
Maybe later.
Sure.
All right.
I'll give you a hug.
And a rub.
If you're into getting rubbed.
All right.
Why don't you talk about you had a big event this weekend.
I did.
And that caused me to have a little event with a friend. But
twice a year, we do I've talked about it on the podcast. I can't remember which number it was, but it's been a while. We had a swap party. It started off where I just had my daughter's, baby clothes and toddler clothes. She was just growing so quickly. And some of the things still had tags on them. And I was like, this is a shame. So I went down to a consignment shop. It was insulting what they were offering me. And I said, I would rather give these clothes away to my friends who have little kids and watch them enjoy wearing them. But then it kind of grew to with us. Like, I'll go through my closet and something's been hanging there and it's perfectly fine. But maybe I've been, if you're watching either Facebook memories pop up from 12 years ago and you're looking at the picture of you from 12 years ago and you're wearing that outfit, you're just like, oh, maybe it's time to retire it, but they're still perfectly fine. So anyway.
Mad respect for being able to fit into it still.
Right. That's good. Thank you. But, and then we'll have the swap party. We'll change, we'll exchange clothes. Maybe, I get gifts a lot, like, samples of things, makeup samples and things that don't really work for me. So we'll swap makeup. We'll swap. It's like a garage sale. We'll just money's exchange. It could be household goods and things like that. And then we'll go to lunch a couple months from now with my girlfriends and somebody will walk in wearing something that I used to own. And it looks so good on them. And I'm just like, yay, you're wearing my outfit.
Electronics and shoes, all kinds
everything.
Of stuff.
Books. Yesterday's swap, we had some art. We had a rice cooker that somebody's like, I just never use it. It's just sitting there gathering dust. I want somebody to enjoy it. There was a blend jet. There was
what's a blend jet?
It's like a little handheld mixer. Somebody brought a coffee table. They're like, we got this coffee table. It was a great deal.
PTJ
brought a coffee table. That kind of stuff. Lots of, our children's shoes that they outgrew.
Did he break anything?
He did not. Justin didn't.
Did he steal anything?
But no, he did not.
Did he spill anything?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Wow.
But the thing was, we were supposed to have a lot more people, but there was a monsoon of epic proportions.
And that's no exaggeration.
Right when my swap party was starting.
It was a freaking deluge.
It was bad.
I saw a frog with a life jacket.
Right. It was bad. So my girlfriends, a lot of them canceled. Well, honey, I've heard that joke 500 times. I'm sure the people listening to the podcast are laughing and like, why didn't Kellie laugh at that? It's because Kellie's heard that 500 times, pretty much every time it rains. And we've been together for 5 years now. That's a lot of rain.
That's a lot of rain when you see a frog with a damn life jacket on.
Right. And a lot of hearing that joke. So anyway, my friends would show up. A lot of them had to cancel because they were driving in too far and roads were flooding. And I met them with beach towels and a hairdryer, and they were all in my bathroom getting dried off. It was just a mess. But we had more drama than just that at our swap party, because what usually happens, and here I'm sharing this so y'all can, if y'all ever want to do this with you and your friends, it's really a lot of fun, especially if you do it and there's alcohol involved, because then it gets silly and a lot of fun. But we did it on a Sunday afternoon. Nobody was really drinking. It was just, getting together. My friend Shanda, if you've listened to the Kid Craddock Morning Show since what year, honey?
Nationally syndicated. 13, 16.
Shanda was on the air when I first started, and she was shopping with Shanda, and she's always the bargain shopper. So what she does when everybody's gone through all the clothes, all the merch, we all gather around in the living room. If you've got a little cocktail, you sit there, and Shanda goes through each piece of clothing and makes people take it. She's like, this is good stuff. Kellie, why didn't you try this on? I'm like, Shanda, honestly, there was so much stuff. I never saw it. And because of Shanda, I walked away with 3 new tops.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. I can't wait to wear them. I have to wait till next winter because it's a wool, cold shoulder, green sweater. It's going to be fabulous on me.
So she's trying to find product to home.
Right.
Just to get it out of here.
So we're sitting there and she's kind of just swishing some stuff, pushing it to the side and not saying, this looks great for you, Susan. This looks great for you, Blake. She's just pushing some stuff to the side. And finally, my girlfriend, I will not say her name, she said, yeah, everything you're pushing to the side that you won't even show to anybody, that's so hideous, you won't even show it to anybody. That's my stuff. And we're all like, oh, that's so funny. She goes, no, it's not funny. And I got tickled because I got real hot. And she's like,
so she was legit mad.
She's laughing, but like every time we have a swap party, I bring my stuff and y'all all make fun of it and nobody ever takes it. And it always gets donated to charity. And I'm like, come on, it's not that bad. We were all laughing. She's like, oh no. And then she started calling out specific things like from a swap party almost 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
She said it's that bad.
She's hung on to this for 10 years?
No, it's just every swap party. It's the same thing. Nobody ever wants her stuff. And she was it was funny and it was awkward. It's like everything you want to see on a sitcom, but you don't want to be in it. But about 10 years ago, somebody showed up with not one, but 2 pairs of khaki Bermuda shorts, like walking shorts, but Bermuda shorts. And this is 10 years ago. We were all still fairly young and we're like, who brought these khaki Bermuda walking shorts? And nobody would claim it. And it was so funny. And Kinsey, JC's wife from the Kid Craddock Morning Show, nationally syndicated, she has this kind of like this, it's become a bit that just kind of organically happened. She always models the most hideous outfit that somebody brings to swap. Mm-hmm. And granted, sometimes I bring some crap too. It's like, I don't know what I was thinking when I was bought it. I was desperate for an outfit. I know.
But all your stuff is pretty safe.
Pretty safe. But like some of it's like, so I like one of my dresses yesterday, they were like, no. And I was like, okay, but a lot of my stuff gets taken. Anyway, Shanda and Kinsey were modeling these khaki walking shorts, these Bermuda shorts, and we were all laughing hysterically because nobody would claim them.
Were they like cargos?
No, they were just like khakis.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Khaki walking Bermuda shorts.
Were they baggy or?
No, they were fitted, like they were hugging the leg.
That doesn't sound like it would be.
It was bad.
It was bad?
It was bad. And nobody would claim it. And they were just modeling them. And it was making it really awkward. And I was like thinking, I really feel bad for the person who brought it because we're just all drinking and laughing hysterically. Well, my friend says, yesterday, she goes, and those were my shorts. She said, I was too embarrassed to say anything then. But now, yeah, those were my shorts. And y'all always make fun of my stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, it was so funny, but awful.
I don't think I'd been out of shape because
if it's every year people are making fun of your stuff.
But all my stuff I give away, it's all kind of fringe anyway. I'm like, yeah, that is pretty bad.
Well, sometimes it's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, ladies you got to be careful. Don't make too much fun. That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point if you have a swap party, because people's feelings can get hurt.
But you said it was pretty tame. Not a lot of drinking this time?
Yeah, I mean, the ladies came, it started at 2 p.m. And by the time the swap party was over, the sun was out. So it wasn't like a big thing. I told everybody, I've got water and soft drinks. We do have a full bar if anybody wants anything. But everybody's like, no. And then one girl, because everybody also with the swap parties, you bring like a little nibble, like just something you want to nibble on, or you can bring a bottle of what you like. And Nicole brought these.
Who's Nicole?
Nicole. She works for Yay Networks, who is she works for the bosses of the Kid Craddock. She's Boss Man George's assistant.
Amen.
And El Presentation.
Hey Nicole, get Kelly on the phone. Amen. Yeah.
So she got these little wine cooler type things from Target, and she just swung by and got some, and they were cold, and she brought those. And she also brought something that was a huge hit. I'm going to share with y'all.
Huge.
Tostitos makes an avocado salsa.
Ooh.
It was creamy and green.
Creamy.
And everybody was raving about it. And she's like, it's just Tostitos. But it was a jar, it's
okay.
It's avocado salsa. And that was a big hit. And then Shanda, oh my goodness. She took blueberries and she dipped them. She got a toothpick and she dipped them in white chocolate. And she brought chocolate covered hand dipped blueberries. In addition to, she always
That
brings
actually
chocolate.
sounds pretty good.
She always brings chocolate covered strawberries and chocolate covered pretzels. She just loves chocolate covered stuff, but she's never brought chocolate covered blueberries before. I cannot tell you how good they were. Something about the chocolate, because I had to try a couple because I was like, I've never had these before. It made it coated the blueberry. So when you bit into it, the blueberry burst in your mouth. It was like a little pop of explosive fruity flavor and then chocolate.
In your mouth.
In your mouth. It was so good, y'all, if y'all want to try that. Those were and then Kinsey brought this like a street corn. It's like a Mexican street corn, but she made it as a corn dip. Very similar to my mama's Mexican corn casserole dip that you can also serve as a side dish, but she didn't put all the cream cheese in it. It was just like a bunch of butter and that cojita cheese and stuff. So good.
Well, that sounds good.
So anyway, that's my whole story.
Sounds fun.
From the swap party.
Sounds pretty fun.
Alan skedaddled. He's like, I don't want to be there to hear all y'all screeching and laughing.
Now,
tell him what you say.
Tell him. I have stuck around for the swap party before.
And you've had fun.
Until somebody tried to take my Pottery Barn plates.
They didn't, Alan. You know that was a total.
No, tried to take my Pottery Barn plates.
They did not. Somebody brought the same exact Pottery
Barn. I got pictures of all that too. All the tenseness.
Okay, but you did have fun. You used to. Now you just don't even want to participate.
Well, no. If Justin comes, he's going to spill something on me, so I had to leave.
It's not true. That's just rude. You're just being rude. You're going to make him feel bad because he thinks you're being serious.
I'm joking.
Well, nobody knows you're serious. You're joking.
I'm always joking.
You don't know how many times on a daily basis I have to ask Alan,
are you joking?
Because he always sounds serious.
No, while Kellie was doing her swap party, I went to my friend Jeff's house, and he's
Bad influence Jeff. Y'all are wondering.
He's actually moving. So part of the reason I went over there was just to say hi. I haven't seen him in a while. And then also he's selling a bunch of stuff.
And Jeff's a clothes horse.
Jeff he's a lot like me. I mean, I like nice clothes. I don't quite probably buy as much as Jeff does.
He could open a men's department store.
In fact, when Jeff and I went to the Grammys, whenever, the year before last. 2020.
You were there when Kobe Bryant died.
Yeah.
So it was January?
February.
January, February.
Yeah. He and I were staying close to Beverly Hills, and we went to the Beverly Hills Barney's, which was having a going out of business sale. And I liked looking around for an hour and a half. That guy, I could not get him out of that store.
Yeah, he's kind of addicted to shopping.
I mean, it was like a 5-level store, and he was in there for hours, and we both were. But anyway, he likes to shop. So he's got a lot of extra clothes, and he said, "Hey, I'm selling some of my old shirts."
And downsize.
Yeah, because he's moving. He's kind of downsizing his place. So what do you got? He goes, "Oh, I got a lot of nice shirts, like Robert Graham type shirts." And I said, "Well, come look at it." So I go over there.
And I've got to get away from Kellie and all of her screeching friends.
Cackling
and screeching.
Yeah, cackling. But the cackling really amps up when y'all start drinking a lot.
Well, we weren't drinking.
Yeah, it probably would have been tolerable this time. But anyway, so I go over there to Jeff's, and he's got all the shirts laid out. And these are really nice shirts. They're Robert Graham shirts. A lot of them still have the tags on them. And I went through them all, and I found a shirt. I ended up taking about 10 of the shirts. Well, I found a shirt that my sister, that I used to have, but it's a little fancier. Jeff's version had all the stitching on the front.
Extra stitcher too.
Yeah. And
it was the same print.
My sister used to call it the blouse. Jeff also had the blouse, but just a little fancier. So I took that back because I think you made me get rid of my old blouse.
I did not make you. You chose to get rid of it because your sister called it the blouse, and then you never felt good about wearing it again.
So
it does make your cheeks look even more rosy. It's like a pinkish purple in the shirt, which makes his cheeks pop.
White.
It's a
blue,
lot.
And then some of the other shirts I got they're going out shirts. They're like Vegas shirts.
Robert Graham is going out stuff, the majority of it. But Alan also wore the blouse when you used to wear your hair that would flick up on your head like flames. So I think it was the combination of you just looked like you were going to Vegas.
Just too much
in a blouse.
Too much.
I never, ever criticized that
No,
shirt.
you didn't.
I never did.
That's one thing about Kellie. If you want to make a bold fashion statement, which I don't very often, but sometimes I'll throw something on when we're going out, and I might be.
If you feel good wearing it,
I might be a little out of my comfort zone. Kellie never says anything.
I always tell you look nice.
Yeah.
If you don't look that nice, I just don't compliment you as much.
Because you know how gentle my
your ego
if
is
you were to say
very easily bruised.
Yes. If you were to say something about my dress,
it would ruin my whole night.
Mine too.
Yeah.
So anyway, I ended up taking 10 shirts from Jeff's. He gave me a spreader, a fertilizer spreader, so I don't need that anymore. And he gave me something else. Oh, he offered us a cooler for our backyard, but it was a little big, so I didn't end up taking it that day, but he's going to bring it over. So we had us a little swap party.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's fun, isn't it?
It was fun.
Because, you could sell it for a couple bucks, but
well, and he told me
it's just more fun to know that people are enjoying it. And I don't know, you can visit it every once in a while. Hey, are you still wearing that dress you got for me at the swap party? Do you love it? That kind of thing.
So Jeff told me to keep all the shirts, and I said, well, what do I owe you? And he goes, just hold on to them for a while to see if you like them, and then we'll settle up later. And I was like, are you sure?
Yeah, it's kind of awkward between friends to exchange money. That's why we don't exchange money at our swap parties.
I really
what did you
didn't
say?
mind. I brought money. I fully expected to pay him right there.
Yeah.
And he said, don't worry about it.
But how do you put a price on it? He doesn't even know what to say or what to offer.
Well, he knows what he paid for them. And I said, probably a little under half is what you could sell them for. So since I'm a buddy of yours, and I would get a volume discount too, Jeff.
Yeah.
Maybe we could work something out.
He could find out what he would get for him from consignment, and then maybe just charge you that.
Consignment, you don't get Rick.
You don't get anything.
You don't get Rick. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the story of my swap party and Alan's impromptu swap party.
We had fun too. And then I went to, because I figured y'all were still partying, and I rolled on over to a Barnes and Noble, Starbucks, and posted up.
Mm-hmm.
That was very relaxing, and that's one thing I love to do.
Well, hopefully you were starting to plan some adventures for us this summer, because we do have
adventures.
The boys a lot, and a lot of us want to get back to basics, and we're doing lots of road trips, and just because you're going on what many say, oh, that's just like, getting back to basics. Your gear doesn't need to be basic. Before you shop for a single thing, you can get expert advice from the gearheads at backcountry.com.
Backcountry.
With Backcountry, you can pick up the phone and talk with a former Olympian, former pro athletes, 100+ days a year skiers, or seasoned guides with years of experience. They're all available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, by phone, email, or chat. In fact, backcountry.com was founded by a former Olympic skier. It's simply the best place for outdoor gear and apparel. All the names like Patagonia, Yeti, Big Agnes, Santa Cruz Bicycles. They've got thousands of your favorite brands for every outdoor adventure. So let's just say you're a first timer when it comes to camping or skiing or mountain biking. It can be really intimidating when it comes, what do I buy? I'm kind of embarrassed to ask, but don't be. The Backcountry gearheads are experts who can give you a masterclass in the great outdoors, providing anything you need, from a detailed packing list to gift recommendations for your outdoorsy friends. Whatever you need to know, you just have to ask. And Alan, he wasn't intimidated. He got good help from a gearhead.
I got a lot of help from a gearhead.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have great brands at Backcountry. Patagonia is one of my favorites. I got a Stetson cowboy hat, which I love to wear in the winter. But one thing I didn't know how to buy is saddlebags for my bike. So I talked to a gearhead who specialized in bicycles.
Mm-hmm.
He asked me a few questions about what kind of bike I have. And then he sold me on a really nice pair of saddlebags for my bike, also called panniers.
Right. And a lot of people maybe are going to be RVing, but with RVing, you might want to do a little grilling out, or like soft camping, I guess you'd call it. Ask a gearhead, what do I need to do? Because there's nothing worse than buying stuff you didn't need. It's that's such a waste of money. Well, everything they sell at Backcountry is the highest quality. The gearheads are what really makes the difference. We really want you to check them out.
So go to backcountry.com/sandwich and enter promo code sandwich to get 15% off your first full price purchase. Some exclusions apply. Go right now, get 15% off at backcountry.com/sandwich and enter promo code sandwich. That's backcountry.com/sandwich. And don't forget to enter that promo code sandwich.
All right.
Okay, so I think last podcast, I think it was the last podcast, we kind of randomly signed off with an ongoing debate we have. And, I'm a master debater. So I will debate you. I will master debate you to the end.
What were we debating, honey?
We were debating Grease. And this comes up between you and I more
Grease
often
2, really, wasn't it?
Grease or Grease 2, either one. And
You've never seen it.
Never seen it. I have no desire to see it.
Well, then how can you debate anything about Grease when you haven't even seen it?
I've seen clips of it.
Doesn't count. You don't get caught up in the spirit and the emotion of it.
The only musical I really like was, there's two, Amadeus and
You liked Amadeus?
it's one of my favorite movies of
Really?
all time.
You have never mentioned
Yes, I have. Go back to podcast like 5. And then
I might have to do that because I don't remember that.
And then The Greatest Showman.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh.
You even bought the CD. Hugh Jackman, you just loved him.
Huge Jackman. Outside of that, I'm out. I'm out on the musical, especially Grease.
What about that one with Nicole Kidman and Ewan McGregor? Come what may, I will love you until my dying day. That was a good movie. It was really weird at first, and we almost walked out, but we stayed.
Tell you what,
I can't remember the name of it.
the fact that Obi-Wan Kenobi is in it gives it instant credibility,
Yeah.
but that's a whole nother
It
subject.
was good. I can't remember
So
it.
Grease, I maintain that Grease, I'm just going to come out and say it. It's a girls' movie. It's a gals' movie. Gals love Grease. Gals love Grease. Guys don't like Grease.
There are a lot of guys that like Grease.
I'm just throwing that out there.
There are a lot of guys that like Grease.
That's just my opinion. So one of our very, very best customers, who happens to be a gal, her name is Andrea Dowling. Do you know who that is?
Oh, isn't that Andrea Gullidge?
Yeah.
See, now, Alan, quit doing that to me. I'm not going to be able to look her in the eye next time I see her if you don't stop.
One of our very dear friends, Andrea.
I didn't realize that she goes by her maiden name, like on, socials or something.
Andrea Dowling Gullidge.
So is her married name Dowling or Gullidge? You got me so confused now. It's Gullidge.
Her married name is Gullidge.
Thank you.
Her maiden name
You
is
make me
Dowling.
so confused.
I make you confused.
Yes, you get me all flustered.
So she also heard this rant that I had about Grease, and she disagreed, but she went to IMDb
Yes.
and looked up
International Movie Database.
And she looked up a list of the greatest movies as determined by their impact on American pop culture.
Well, who made that list?
IMDb.
But what parameters, what factors went into coming up with this list?
How impactful they were on pop culture.
How do they measure the impact?
The music, the quotes from the movie, people like saying quotes from the movie, on and on, the characters, people dressing up like those characters.
I'm asking, how do they gauge? And isn't it then subjective?
I'm just telling you that on this list, and we're going to go through not the entire list because people love lists.
Oh, please do. All 50.
But no, there's more than 50.
I thought you said it was 50.
There's 100.
Oh my gosh.
And Grease or Grease 2
I know Grease 2 won't be
appears
on the list.
nowhere on this list.
Well, they're wrong. It should be on the list at some point.
Okay, here are the
Somewhere
top.
in the top 100 should be Grease.
We'll give the top, I don't know, 20, just real quick. Number 1, Star
Go
Wars.
backwards. You show 20 to 1.
Okay, number 1 was
You
Star
count
Wars.
down. Don't you know how countdown
I
shows
have
work?
done that before, and you have done the exact same thing.
Go 20 to 1.
Okay, 20. Casablanca,
See, I've never seen that movie.
1942.
But okay, so people say, just put your lips together and blow. You know how to whistle, don't you?
The number of
Play it again,
quotes, the
Sam.
song, the acting, everything about the movie is iconic
You
American
must
cinema.
remember this.
See?
A kiss is
See there?
a kiss.
The Gold Rush, number 19. The
I
Gold
have
Rush.
no idea.
Charlie Chaplin, 1925.
Okay. See,
Okay.
now maybe at that time.
Babe, we can't debate all 20 of
But
these.
how can you say that's in the top 20 when what did it help people get through a depression? Did it cause people to go out and do something drastic? How can you say that that's one of the top 20?
Number 18, E.T., the extraterrestrial.
Now, see, I didn't see that when it first came out in theaters, but about 2 years ago, I watched it for the first time with Alan and the kids, and I was like, whoa, that was bad.
You didn't think it aged well.
It didn't, because CGI and things like that have come such a long way, and now we're spoiled. But if I had watched E.T. as a child, I would have had those sentimental feelings, and then I would have watched it with the kids and be like, see, isn't it wonderful? And they'd be like, no, what was that weird puppet thing running around?
But how much did you hear Phone Home after the movie?
You did.
Reese's Pieces.
I'm not going to say it wasn't impactful.
Iconic picture of the bicycle and E.T. going past the moon.
Huge.
Yeah.
It was huge.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not going to say that wasn't an impact, but I'm just going to say it didn't hold up well.
Number 17, MASH, the movie MASH.
That's interesting.
Spawned one of America's greatest television shows.
Yeah.
And gave some iconic quotes on its own. Number 16, The Waterfront. Didn't see it.
Is that
It's 19.
Stella? Was that Marlon Brando? Was that Waterfront?
That'd be Marlon Brando.
What'd I say?
Marilyn Brando.
I meant Marlon.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to process, was that the same movie?
15, Psycho.
Oh yeah, that makes people. That's impactful. Some people. Yeah, some people. It really affects their ability to take showers because they're afraid somebody's gonna.
Hello, hand.
Yeah, be behind the curtain.
1960, Psycho. A boy's best friend is his mother.
You.
Number 14, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring.
Did it affect society? I don't know.
Man,
Did it make people want to get? I don't know. How did that affect? See,
I know this is a very, very unpopular opinion. I happen to be more of a sci-fi guy than a fantasy guy.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I tried to watch one of those damn Lord of the Rings movies, I passed out in the first 15 minutes.
Is this the one that he said, my precious, my
I
precious?
think
Is
so.
that one?
I could not get through any of them.
Just because you can quote a movie, does that mean it was impactful to? I don't know. Airplane would be one of the top.
Hold on.
Because every man quotes Airplane.
13, 1996, Jerry Maguire.
You had me at hello.
You had me at hello. Show me the money.
You complete me, yeah.
All the 90s quotes. Number 12, The Godfather. Iconic.
I finally watched that. The last guy I seriously dated before you.
I'm going to make him an offer
I thought
that
it
he
was
can't
good.
refuse.
I thought it was
Do you like
good.
it? Is that
It was good.
Okay. The sequels are very good too.
That's what I heard. I
Yeah.
heard The Godfather 2 was even possibly better.
We own all the. It sounds so old. I mean, we have them on DVD.
Yeah,
I like them so much. I went and bought them
if you want.
back in the day. Number 11, Frankenstein, 1931.
Did it change movie making?
It's alive. I say that to Emma Kellie every time she walks down the stairs.
You do. Okay.
She's alive.
But how many people can identify where that came from besides you, Al?
One, Walter A. Evans. Number 10, Dracula.
Okay.
Bela Lugosi's portrayal of the Count Dracula, easily the most iconic. No? Okay.
What's the list that does what? It's most impactful on society?
On pop culture.
On pop culture.
Number 9, King Kong.
On pop culture, yeah. Fay Ray.
Mm-hmm.
They've made so many.
How many King Kong in,
There's King Kong versus Godzilla now, or Godzilla versus Kong.
Wasn't a bad movie. It had no plot, but
still
it was fun to watch. Number 8, It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes, because every time you hear a bell ring, an angel gets his wings.
See how many of these you can quote from? That's amazing. Really, that's a pretty amazing thing that you can do that. Number 7, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Well, all I remember is her looking for her cat. Cat! Remember that in the rain?
But you remember it.
Moon River.
There you go.
She was basically a prostitute. You know that? We're celebrating a movie about a prostitute.
I support working women. Number 6, Titanic.
Gosh, that movie wrecked me. That scene, the one that got me. I mean, there was a lot of
Which one?
The old couple that knew there was no escaping the water.
Mm-hmm.
So they spooned each other in bed as the water rose around them. I lost my ish.
That's pretty tough.
I lost it. I was hysterical, sobbing.
That was pretty tough.
That was bad.
I enjoyed Titanic. I saw it at the theater. Thought it was a great movie.
Yeah, but did the ending tick you off? That was stupid. When she threw that jewel in the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
That was stupid. I'm too practical for that. That really ticked me off. And I stopped crying. It's like, what is she doing?
Number 5, It Happened One Night. 1934.
Never saw it.
Yeah, I don't really know what that is. Number 4, The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
We're off to see the wizard.
My daughter
the wonderful Wizard of
loved
Oz.
that movie when she was 2 or 3, and I thought it would be too scary for her with the flying monkeys, but she loved it.
Yeah, the
Nanny
flying
Laura
monkeys.
even got like some that ironing tape because she couldn't sew, and she put together a Dorothy costume, and my daughter wore it. I have it upstairs in like a little box of her favorite things, and that dress is up there.
Cool.
She loved it.
Number 3, Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
See, I love that movie trilogy, and I finally
So do
got
I.
our boys. We finally got the boys
I
to
love
watch it.
It's one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, where he's like the guy with the whip or whatever, and he just goes,
yeah.
And the boys are like, I don't think it stands
Yeah.
up for them.
And that launched Harrison Ford's career.
So
well,
good.
no, wait a second. Star Wars actually.
Yeah.
And then he got into the Raiders movies.
Yeah, you know who it was supposed to be? Indiana Jones?
Mel Gibson.
No.
Who?
Tom Selleck passed.
Oh, Tom.
But if he'd have done it, you would have never thought otherwise.
You wouldn't have. Tom, what are you doing? Number 2, Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back.
Why in that?
Yoda, I Am Your Father.
Yeah, but I mean, there's so many Star Wars movies. Why that one, at number...
Well, and then number 1, Star Wars Episode 4.
Was that number 2 was the... Wait, did you skip some?
Number 2 was Star Wars Episode 5.
5.
And number 1 is Star Wars Episode 4. Yeah.
That's the original one, really.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so the first movie and the second movie are number 1 and 2, even though they're episodes 4 and 5.
Yes.
Okay, that makes... I don't know why they did that. That's very confusing for me. Why don't you just say the first Star Wars and the second Star Wars?
Well, because it was a
I get
saga.
that.
He wrote the middle stories first.
I get that, but it's confusing. Just
Not
say
to
the
a Star Wars
first
fan.
Star Wars,
Not to a Star Wars
the
fan.
second Star Wars,
Episode 4.
the third Star
No,
Wars. What's the third Star Wars?
That's not Revenge of the Sith.
What's the fourth Star Wars?
A New Hope.
Fifth,
Empire Strikes Back.
sixth,
Return of the Jedi.
seventh.
The Disney number
Disney got
1
involved.
disaster.
Then Disney got
Disney
involved.
number 2 disaster. Disney number 3 disaster. But,
See, I don't know.
But then 1 is The Phantom Menace. 2 is Attack of the Clones. 3 is Return of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith.
Well,
Revenge of the Sith.
I love Grace, and that's all that matters.
Okay. Well, I don't know if we solved that debate, but thank you, Andrea Gullidge.
Look, I'll pick a movie that you've never seen, and you pick a movie I've never seen.
Hey, that's good.
And then we'll give a review.
You know what we ought to invent?
An
app that's like a Tinder. And if you and your spouse are swiping and you swipe on the same movie or restaurant, it tells you.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Somebody go take that.
That's why I'm the idea guy.
Somebody go do that idea. And then give us a cut. Because we're looking for some side hustles. We don't have enough.
Cut us in 10%. 10% for the big guy.
That's right. Alan, I don't know if you've noticed, but have you seen the Theragun box just laying out in the closet? I've been using our Theragun a lot more lately. I'm not an elite athlete by any stretch of the imagination, but Alan and I have been walking a lot more and not just strolling. I mean, we're power walking, and Alan goes in the garage and he does a workout routine, and I do lunges when he's not watching me because he'll make fun of me. Let's all be honest. And sometimes I get sore in some really strange places, but nothing releases that tension like my Theragun. It's a handheld percussive therapy device. It releases your deepest muscle tension using a scientifically calibrated combination of depth, speed, and power. Quiet as an electric toothbrush. The Gen 4 Theragun doesn't just feel good. It gets to the source of that pain. It releases that tension using Theragun's signature percussive therapy, which goes 60% deeper than just vibration alone. Come on, there's knockoffs out there. They don't compare to the Theragun, especially the Gen 4. Whether you want to treat your muscle tension from working out, an injury, or just the stress of everyday life, no substitute. The OLED screen and the design make you feel like you're holding something from the future. You can go to their site and check it out for yourself. The Theragun app also learns from your behaviors, and it'll suggest guided routines. How cool is that? Now, I told you, I've been hurting in some strange places. Behind my left knee, it gets so tight, I can't straighten my leg out all the way. And then I have this tendon or something. I don't know if it's a muscle or tendon that runs sort of along the inside of my leg, like between my ankle and my calf. I just put that Theragun on it, and in just a couple minutes, I'm walking easily again. It's really great. I love mine, and I know you will too. Theragun's trusted by 250 professional sports teams and thousands of happy customers, including some elite athletes like Maria Sharapova.
Wow.
And Kellie Rasberry Evans.
That's right. And you too can try Theragun for 30 days, starting at only $199. Go to Theragun.com/Lovin right now and get your Gen 4 Theragun today. That's Theragun.com/Lovin. That's Lovin. One more time, Theragun.com/Lovin.
Thank you, honey.
All
I'll
right.
use the Theragun on you too if you're nice.
I love it when you use the Theragun.
But actually, it's the way it bends. You could use it on yourself. It's really great.
I love the depth, speed, and power.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm bringing some real relationship content to this podcast.
Is this on the schedule?
Yeah. This is something I know will very, very much benefit our gal listeners and some of our guy listeners. Let's be real.
Do I know what you're about to talk about?
No, this is a surprise.
Oh.
So, this can help you. This can help you
Is it something we've been doing?
No.
Okay.
No, but you may have when we're recording. I don't know. This may have helped you when we were recording. Courting, not courting. Courting.
When you were wooing me.
Yes.
Pursuing me.
So you may not be able to see me right now, but if you could look at me right now, you would notice that I have a very, very big nose.
You do?
I think my schnoz is substantial. I have a beak.
Fix your face.
I have a beak that is not only long, it's wide. You don't agree? You think my nose is okay?
Fits your face.
I've always thought I got a big nose. I'm just being real. I've always thought I have a big nose. I look in the mirror, I'm like, wow, you got a big freaking nose, dude. Yeah. That's always how I thought I look. I think you have a big nose. My response to that has always been to myself, well, air is free, so I'm going to get my fair share. Well, I found a study. This is a very recent study by Men's Health.
About nose sizes?
About nose sizes. The title of the article from Men's Health
this is going to be something to do with his appendage. We all know where this is going.
Men with larger noses have bigger penises, according to a new study. Your beak may be giving away more than you think. Ladies, listen.
See, this is garbage.
No, it's not. Listen to this.
They say the same thing about big hands.
No.
And big feet.
That's
always the same. Oh, you know what they say about men with big hands.
Hey, trust the science.
Okay.
Trust the science.
Go ahead.
The bigger the nose, the bigger the penis, right? Well, that's not how the adage quite goes, but according to a new study carried out by researchers at Kyoto Prefectural University of Medicine, there is significant...
Is that a Japanese study?
Yeah. There is significant correlation between nose size and penis size.
So they had men line up.
I'm about to tell you what they did.
And they measured their
I'm about
noses,
to tell you what they did.
And then measured their penises.
I'm about to tell you what they did.
And then multiplied and divided and subtracted and came up with this study.
I'm stuck on repeat. I'm about to tell you what they did. Published in the medical journal Basic and Clinical Andrology. What is andrology? I don't know if I want to know.
I don't want to interrupt you anymore, honey.
The researchers of the study found that men with larger noses had a
sizable penis,
stretched penile length of at least 5.3 inches, while men with smaller noses had a penis length of 4.1 inches erect. The team of researchers drew this conclusion by
just plow through, Alan. Come on, you want me to read it?
By looking at the dead corpses of 126 men.
That's not fair.
Within 3 days of death and measured different parts of their body.
That's not fair.
After taking into account varying factors such as height, weight, and measurements of the penis.
Well, that's not erect. if they're dead.
There were no links between foot size and appendage size, before you ask. The authors of the study then worked out that the stretched penile length, the SPL.
So they're taking these dead bodies and they're tugging on them and stretching them. That
Affirmative.
is desecration. Unless these people, I guess, offered their bodies up for science.
I don't think that's desecration. Have you seen what
tugging on a dead man's penis?
Have you seen what they do in an autopsy?
But that's not the same. That's when you're trying to determine cause of death, not doing some stupid study
they
about
look at everything.
nose and
they
penis
look
size.
At everything.
That's stupid. This is stupid.
Stretched penile.
And I don't think Uncle Sid, who donated his body to medical science research, probably hoping, you know what, I could be the link to finding the cure for Alzheimer's. No, turns out Uncle Sid had a big nose. And guess what? His penis, when you hold it up high, it goes almost to 6 inches. Way to go, Sid. Put that down in the note-taking book. That is stupid. That's stupid. I am mad about that. How stupid is that?
This was measured by, and sorry to be so graphic, by...
Just say it, Alan. It's annoying.
Pulling the penis up as far as it would go.
That's awful. That's awful. Because if you're alive, as far as it would go, it would hurt so bad you'd make them stop before it goes as far as it could go.
How do you know?
And how do you
know?
It would hurt. Pull my arm as far as it could go. It could go farther if I didn't make you stop. And you said it was an erect penis. How can you get a dead man erect? You just pull it. That's not the same thing. This is ridiculous. The fact that how much money they spend on this stupid research. They didn't cure nothing. They just are measuring noses and penises.
The study concluded.
Some pervert scientist thought this would be a fun experiment.
The study concluded the fact that nose size is related to SPL, which again is stretched penile length.
That's ridiculous.
Indicates that penile length may not be determined by age, height, or body weight, but it has been determined at birth.
What? What does that have to do with the nose?
Well, because I think your nose...
It's like you're predestined to
yeah,
have
the size of your nose is, I mean, it's not something you can control.
Well, the nose and the ears can continue growing your whole life.
Well, in my case, the penile length has too.
But see, that's what I'm saying. If your nose continues to grow, at what point? What if some man died at 22 and then another guy died at 80? The 80-year-old is going to have a much bigger nose.
Currently, this study is limited to Japanese cadavers. Good eye, mate.
Don't be bringing that study to America. That's stupid.
And further research is needed.
Why? Why do you need that research?
But maybe this study is the first to highlight that your face can give away more than you think.
That's stupid.
So ladies, gals, guys, next time you're on a date, I want you to really look closely at that man's nose.
No.
You want a man.
This is some big nosed man that feels bad. And it's like, oh, here's a study.
You're talking to a big nosed man who
I
feels
never
bad.
look at you and feel like you have a big nose.
I think I have a huge nose. It's giant.
You study yourself too much.
You don't think I have a big nose?
I really don't. I think it fits your face. It's proportionate.
So you think I have just like an average nose?
Your penis is fine, Alan. Is that what you want me to say? It's a very nice size.
Oh!
What do you want me to say? I have not taken out a tape measure, but I might need an entire ruler, if you know what I'm saying.
Really?
Would you rather me insult you or brag on you? I'm building you up, honey.
Okay. Good. I'm glad we got that out.
I'm glad you got to your study, and I apologize to all the sponsors of this podcast. Hopefully they stopped listening after you gave the last email.
I just want to be clear. I want to clarify your remarks.
My remarks?
Your remarks. You just indicated
you're huge, baby.
As
far as everybody knows.
You just indicated an entire ruler would be needed.
An entire ruler.
And not the one you get in grade school, the little clear plastic 6-inch ruler.
No, those are 12. I'm talking about.
You're talking about the wood.
Yes.
12-inch.
All 12, baby.
There, that's enough for me.
There you go.
That's good enough for me. All right. This is good. This is my favorite podcast we've ever had.
Is it really? I'm glad I could do that for you, honey. I'm still burned up. That's a stupid study.
That's where this is real science.
Money is going. Who cares? How is that going to improve society at all? How is that a cure for anything?
Okay, here.
How is that advancing society?
I'll tell you. Seriously.
Stretching on dead Japanese men's penises.
Listen.
That's stupid.
Listen, they acknowledge this.
They acknowledge it's stupid?
No. Quote, although our results are useless for forensic purposes, understanding the growing process of penis or facial features may be very important for extrapolating foetal and androgen levels and following male genital functions.
What?
It can help them understand how those things develop.
Based on your nose? That's stupid.
Tell the scientists.
You don't need to send me into that lab. Stop it right now. Drop that penis.
Can you imagine?
No, that's ridiculous. And some understudy new lab assistant, like some intern, just got his great new job. Oh, I'm going to go into the field of science. This is my life's work, my dream's passion. Here, go tug on that old man exhibit number 722. Go tug on it. And here's a measure. Go measure.
I don't think
that's stupid.
I don't think they're tugging.
You said they stretched it.
They probably use forceps. If you want to be mature, show some maturity about this. They probably use forceps.
Why?
They attach the forceps to the glans and they pull up and then get the little tape measure out.
Our skin could probably, stretch, but it just can't because there's blood flowing through our veins. There's muscles and tissues that are alive, and things probably happen. When you're dead. I don't know what's going on in your penis. I haven't really studied it that much. They didn't really go into that in depth at Florence Christian School, what's going on in there. But I would imagine if you're dead, you could probably work it and make it longer than it is because there's nobody there to stop you. There's no pain sensors to stop you from pulling it. So I don't think this is a legit study. You need to have living, breathing people. But why would you want to subject yourself to this study?
So you could extrapolate foetal androgen levels?
I don't even know. I'm glad I'm a woman. That's all I have to say.
I'm glad I'm a man. Glad we got that.
I'm ready to go. I'm so burned up right now.
I thought you'd enjoy that. I thought you'd enjoy that very much. I thought you'd enjoy that very much.
So much other stuff to be researching and doing good.
Gals, if you have any input on this subject, and I know everyone's going to be looking across the kitchen table tomorrow at their spouse, studying it very, very closely.
No, they're not.
The nose on their face. Email us at podcast@kellyandalan.com.
Email Alan. He's the one that's going to be reading those.
Pictures are not needed.
Please, God, no, don't send those.
Okay. Got anything else?
No, I think you ended this podcast.
Like I always tell you, people start stuff, but I finish it.
That's not always a good quality.
All right, man. We have a party coming up, June the 12th. From 6 to 12.
No.
June the 12th.
From 6
to 10. It'll probably go on till 12, but from 6 to 10. At Oaked Barbecue, we're doing the first annual summer blowout barbecue bash.
Annual being the word. Yes, this is the first one. You have to start an annual tradition somewhere.
Go to Oaked's Facebook or Oaked Instagram, Oaked BBQ.
OAK''D.
Not on Instagram. It's just OAKD BBQ.
Oh, well, I'm saying that's how we spell it because we're cool like that and you drop the E.
Yeah, that's just confusing. So it's at Oaked BBQ on Instagram.
OAKD.
Go to OAKD on Facebook. And you need to buy a ticket if you want to go. Reason being is Chef has set up an all-you-can-eat spread for everybody who gets a ticket. It's only $15.
Yeah, he's not making money. He's just covering costs.
That gets you all you can eat sliders. There's going to be turkey, sausage, sides, That does not include drinks. Drinks
Yeah.
are extra.
We know better than to provide an open bar for you.
We would go broke if it was $15 including the drink.
That's great for food, though.
Yeah. So
There's gonna be a live band. Usually
live
at
band.
Oak on the weekends they have like an artist or two, like sometimes a duet, because there's not really a huge patio for that. But I don't know how they're going to expand the area, but they're going to make it work and have a big band.
Gonna be cornhole.
We need to practice.
There's gonna be Kellie Rasberry Evans. She'll be there. The amazing Alonzo. He may be there.
We need to practice cornhole.
Don't buy me shots until I've eaten, please.
No shots.
Okay. So yeah, June the 12th, Saturday, Kellie and I will be there having some fun. Hopefully you can come out but yeah, you got to go to Oak's Instagram or their Facebook or Kellie and I posted about it. So go to our social media. I'm at the Alonzo 1971. Kellie's at Kellie Rasberry. And there's a link. You click on it and then you can buy a ticket.
There you go.
Okay. All right, babe. Well, I love you desperately.
I love you.
Love our listeners desperately.
Love y'all.
I love them very much for
putting up with this
buffoonery. But ladies and guys,
y'all, the penis stuff was not on the schedule.
No. Look at those noses.
Not on the schedule.
Look at those noses. Okay. And I'm sure we'll podcast again real soon. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich. Bye.
I don't even know how what to call this podcast. Maybe a sandwich and no schedule. Sandwich and no schedule.
I'm sure some of our live studio audience, a sandwich and some tugging.
Oh, did Robert call you about being on Fat Guy Handbook? He was supposed to.
No.
Because it was going to be the last episode ever.
Oh, really?
Anymore, yeah.
How come?
Just
done. A sandwich and some tugging. A sandwich and some tugging and measuring. A sandwich and some nose size.
I could do
a sandwich and some big noses.
Tugging. That's not
a sandwich and some tugging. Yeah, that's good. A sandwich and some nose comparison. I don't know, guys. Look at the size of that nose. Good grief. Look at that thing. Look at the freaking beak on that guy. Oh, I can get all the air I want. Oh, good. Amy said my nose is adequate. Come on. A sandwich and some flustered Kellie. Oh, Christy, hard no on that thing. A sandwich and some 12-inch wooden ruler. I used to have one of those in my clipboard. Remember, did you have to carry a little clipboard and you'd put all your crap and your papers on your clipboard and stick my ruler in that clipboard? Did you ever do that,
Mm-hmm.
Florence Christian?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
So after we talked the swap party stuff, then we talked about, that wasn't the movie thing right after that. Did we talk about something between the swap party talk and the movies?
I went to Jeff's house, but
and then right after that we talked about movies.
I think so. Darn it. There it is. Come on, Amy. Good grief. She's calling out all my health problems. She said, did they do a correlation on tiny windpipes? Gosh, I thought we were buddies. Can't be saying that stuff. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to. Okay, there we go. Oh, God. SPL. There's another acronym you can use at your next cocktail party. SPL. Stretched penile length. And you should say it like that too. So, I was watching this health podcast, listening to this health podcast I subscribe to, and one of the hosts was talking about a medical study from the Basic and Clinical Andrology study, talking about SPL, stretched penile length. Have you heard about that? Yes.
Ridiculous.
126 Japanese cadavers. They stretched their penises and measured them with a wooden ruler. Somebody's got to figure it out. Somebody has to figure it out. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Yes, it's also my Bob Tibbetts voice. Say, if I was interested in a tuck-in, how much would that cost? Oh, Daddy. $3,000. $3,000. Is that $3,000 a week? Oh, no, Daddy. That's $3,000 an hour. I'm the best in Las Vegas. Oh. Sounds nice, but I think I'll pass this time. David, Alan, there is. All right, guys, we will talk to you. We will talk to you later. We'll talk to you very soon, actually, day before tomorrow or day after tomorrow.